from the mauls in the first half, so we'll have to see.
Well, it went to Wilson, but Connacht got a hand in. Wilson couldn't control it, and Connacht react first, turn over the ball. Heffernan. No way through. And again, a little bit of indiscipline from Johnny Gray.
Yeah, and a lot of the penalties that Glasgow have come away with this year are around this game have been around the breakdown, and Ian Davis is getting sick of this now because they're mounting up. And I think from Connacht's point of view, you can just see they've upped the ante in terms of the ball carriers. Jared Butler, Dave Heffernan. In the first half they were carrying, but in the second half just a bit more of a purpose and just the ambition to create quicker ball, to see what the Connacht backs can do. But from Glasgow's point of view, they absolutely need to cut these penalties out, because there's no way they're going to win this game on the back of that.
Must be difficult for a second row, and he sees the opportunity to scrag the scrum half to pass it up.
Exactly. But unfortunately in this day and age, the statistics are there's no hiding place, and when you're trying to build momentum, it's very difficult to do so when you're giving away penalties every couple of minutes. And now Connacht are bringing on Irish international Quinn Roux to add some ballast to the scrum. No doubt he'll be packing down on the tight head side to give some support to Finlay Beanham.
Fraser Brand coming on for Glasgow, as is their new signing Nick Frisby to make his competitive debut. Australian international, that's him, number 21.
Yeah, in Glasgow in the summer, they were fairly quiet in the transfer market. Obviously lost a couple of players of note, but Frisby coming in from the Queens and Reds are now an opportunity to show what he can do.
In for George Horn at scrum half. Lovely little reverse pass, but it was well read. Healy coming in from the wing. Blade tries a little chip over the top. There's plenty of blue shirts back there. Hogg, so much experience, sees a little bit of space. Nice chip over the top. Which way is it going to bounce? So it bounces, kicks again. Clever play. Beautiful work from Stuart Hogg, and he's pushed Connacht back to the 22.
Yeah, you just saw there why Stuart Hogg twice Taurus with the British and Irish Lions. Originally came from a really good kick, clever kick by Caelan Blaine, seeing that no one was back home. But Hogg was quickest to react. Little chip kick, saw that there was Connacht were disjointed in defence. Knew there was no option to pass the ball and just hooped the ball downfield and gained another 50 metres. So from being in their own 22 deep, they're now camped in the Connacht 22.
And Hogg will be willing a side on to turn this field position into a score. Delan rises. Another show, the quick pass. Kelleher racing up to halfway. Oh, great work by the substitute hooker, Fraser Brand, to get back. Look to dive in to try and snaffle possession then. Farrell. Oh, lovely little release. Back to Paul Boyle. Great stuff from Connacht up to the 22 now. Good protection, Butler. Can Connacht move it quickly? Delan driving into the tackles. Feld on the 22. Blade comes in. Into the hands of Gallagher. He stopped just on that 22-metre line. Good defence from Glasgow. They've reorganised here. O'Halloran in the line. Glasgow, super line speed. They've snuffed out this challenge. Connacht will have to start again. They do with Delan. Quinn Roux just into the action. Good carry from him. Carty, O'Heffernan breaks one tackle. Doesn't get away from Johnny Gray though. Oh, it's great work. Just hit one of the Connacht players, didn't go forward, and wonderful work to pick it off the ground. Delan can't quite find the man. Carty under a little bit of pressure. Fagerson in there, making a nuisance of himself. He's had a huge game for Glasgow. Quinn Roux now looking to stamp a bit of authority on the game. Letting the coach know he's willing to make himself available for selection in the starting 15. He would have been happy to be left on the bench. Oh, Fraser Brown's all over that, but he's not on it, bearing his own weight. He was cleared out eventually. It just slips away. Carty was looking for the crossfield kick. And then the knock-ons turned into a penalty. Great defence from Glasgow.
Great defence in the end, but leading up to that, we saw some great illustrations of the kind of high-tempo game that Connacht are trying to play. All started in their own 22 from a snipe by Caelan Blade to Cian Kelleher, and some great runs by Dave Heffernan as well. But once again,
well, shape to go to touch. Hogg decided to tap. Ball's a little bit low for Grigg. It's been knocked on. Advantage Connacht here. Gallagher gets it away to Buckley. He couldn't get the pass away. That's another penalty. Sorry, it's another advantage for knock-on. They go back for the first one, scrum Connacht.
Yeah, and if you're going to take a quick tap and go, you've got to be 99.9% confident that you're going to get a gain from it. And unfortunately for Glasgow, it was not to be. So instead of potentially going for 3 points or kicking to the corner and putting pressure from a pretty successful maul, they've handed the ball back to Connacht.
9 points behind. I think the mentality has to be get downfield, get within 7 at least.
Yeah, they're their own worst enemy, really, the Warriors, so far in the second half. And as I said, Dave Rennie will be pretty livid at some of the decision making that's going on by some of his senior players, really.
Making a change. Scott Cummins is heading off. Chris Fasaro coming in. They might send Harley into the second row.
Yeah, some changes by both teams, and today the scrum has been fairly successful for Glasgow. Second half have kind of ballasted it, and with the addition of Quinn Rue, who's very highly thought of by Joe Schmidt as a right-hand tight head second row, it has added some ballast to the scrum.
Yeah, good scrum from Connacht this time. Well, they're all standing up now. Penalty Connacht.
Yeah, you can see there the front row are showing their appreciation to the two second rows, Alton Delan and Quinn Rue there. Some fantastic weight getting brought forward to the front row and ultimately leading to a Connacht penalty.
Carty, a little bit of slice again on the kick from hand. Oh, more changes being made ready for Connacht. Peter McCabe, Nia Adialokan coming on.
Yeah, surprised to see Tiernan O'Halloran going off. Maybe he's carrying something that we're not aware of. But a great opportunity in great conditions for Nia Adialokan to come on, and we can see the speed of this guy possesses, and on conditions like today, the Connacht crowd will be hoping to see him running in some open space.
Cian Kelleher presumably will go to fullback. Scrappy maul, and it's not coming out of there. It's turned over by Glasgow. Very good work in defence.
Yeah, you look for momentum changes, and the Glasgow pack will be absolutely delighted with that. And you can see Stuart Hogg going over to congratulate his forwards there, because he knows how how much work they put in there to turn the ball over. And as I said, your momentum changes. Connacht have been on the front foot this half, and Glasgow really haven't got out of second gear. So who knows, something like that may kind of shape them into something more productive as the time goes on.
Finlay Bealham receiving some attention. Glasgow have made a change on the wing. DTH van der Merwe making way for Nico Madawalu.
And you talk about game changers. Madawalu is absolutely epitomised that type of player. You never know what he's going to do, and sometimes I'm sure he doesn't even know what he's doing himself, but on his day, it's an absolute world beater. Yeah, inevitably with the introduction of a couple of new additions to the front row, the scrums are having to reset on a couple of occasions. But big opportunity here for Peter McCabe. Impressed well last year and got himself a full contract for Connacht.
Yeah, McCabe in the front row for Connacht. Fraser Brown in for Glasgow. Referee being patient with a new man in. Glasgow getting a bit of a shunt on. And they get the penalty. Good work. So 2 little battles won by the Glasgow pack in quick succession. Don't think Hogg will take a little tap penalty this time.
Yeah, McCabe seems to be a little bit under pressure there, and I think from his hips point of view, they weren't probably in an optimal position when he actually made the impact on the hit. But yeah, now Glasgow have an opportunity. They've, as I said, they really haven't got out of second gear in the second half, and all of a sudden find themselves 9 points down. So Hogg will be keen to get this down to the 22 and to try and build some momentum.
Ollie Kebble looking like he's in a little bit of difficulty. A loose head for Glasgow. Hogg finds the touchline this time.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed to lose Kebble if he does have to go off. He's been strong in the tight and carried well in the loose.
Harley got fingertips to it. Fasaro is tidying up. Glasgow have possession. Fraser Brown, really strong ball carrier, great acceleration. Frisbee, a little pop-up pass. Kebble at the back. Nice work. I was just about to say the handling has been pretty good in this game, and then there's an unforced error. Advantage. The advantage is over as the call as Butler races away. Tackled on the 10-metre line. Clever little pop pass to McCabe coming on the burst. Referee shouting at Glasgow to release. They don't listen. Blade is tapped and taken quickly. Not sure that was the best decision. Were Glasgow back 10 metres? Referee's happy that they were. Oh, Kelleher's a little bit isolated here. Green shirts pile in, drive over the ball. Connacht in possession on halfway, looking to set something up again. Second half has been a little bit quieter. Carty sees a little bit of space. Hogg quick to react, read the danger. Tries to spiral one away with the outside of the boot, but he hasn't got much distance on that. So a little kicking battle as a victory for Carty.
Yeah, and Carty actually was the initiator originally. It was his line speed that forced the turnover, and I think it's a set play from Connacht's defence this year. It seems that the third man in the defensive setup is taking a flyer on a lot of occasions, and what that does is the ball carrier has to make a decision and trying to come in, or does he go outside? And if he goes outside, it's a bit more difficult pass because the defender is on him straight away. But it was Carty there doing the job there as a third defender and putting pressure and inevitably forcing the turnover.
Another change in the front row. Conor Carey coming on for Finlay Bealham. We got a huge ovation from the supporters on the far side. Alex Allen in for Kebble as well in the Glasgow front row. Glasgow successfully slowing the ball down. It's not coming out. Scrum to Connacht. Be happy enough with that decision, I think.
Yeah, it was fairly messy. I thought for a split second there, Ian Davis was going to give a penalty for Tom Farrell holding on, but he deemed it a fair contest on both sides, and the ball was unplayable, resulting in a Connacht scrum. And what an attacking position for Connacht to attack from now. Middle of the pitch, options both sides, in great conditions. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here. But for Glasgow, the clock's ticking now, and with less than 25 minutes to go, they need to find a spark from somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be a very big chase for Glasgow if they let Connacht get another score here. Connacht lead by 9.
And you have number 18 now, Conor Carey for Connacht, who's been a great addition. He's been there a year and a half now in Connacht rugby, and has added some real competition for places with Finlay Bealham in the tight head position.
Boyle picks from the base. Blade comes to this right-hand side. Receives the pass back. Was that tackle a little bit high? It was over the shoulder. Penalty. Not really dangerous.
Yeah, it was a good read by Horn, but unfortunately his read was too high in the tackle and resulting in a high tackle for the Connacht player.
I think in fairness, if you watch Blade, he dips the shoulder a little bit as well. Or maybe not. It looks a bit worse in slow motion.
Yeah, no, sorry, it's Hastings. But yeah, as I said initially, it was a great read. He saw Jack Carty was just doing a pass around the back of his shoulder, knew that Blade was going to be the recipient, but unfortunately he was over eager and fell through. So
oh, is it going to be a yellow card? I think so. Well, maybe not. Yeah. Ian Davies, he has a hand in that card pocket.
Yeah. And I think the mitigating circumstances are, if a player ducks, then sometimes there's a bit of sympathy for the tackler. But in that occasion, Hastings was always in a high position, as Ian Davies points out, resulting in an inevitable yellow card for the Warriors, which puts their task in an even greater position now, harder position now with 10 minutes now on their creative number 10 in the sin bin.
Well, they have Peter Horn out there, who's pretty handy outside half in his own right. He can slot in there, but they're down to 14.
And quietly, Connacht have kept this board, the clock ticking away nicely. And all of a sudden, if Carty can make this penalty kick, they'll be getting quite a sizable advantage here against a 14-man opponent.
Carty taking plenty of time. Carty, can he maintain his perfect record? Absolute silence at the sports ground. Well, it's curling, but it's curling around the back of the posts. Not a great contact from Carty on that occasion.
Carty will be disappointed with that kick on his right foot, bending the ball in, but he's been kicking fairly well today, but unfortunately on that occasion he just didn't bring the ball around quick enough.
Matawalu tries the clever start. The ball bobbles around. Chance chip over the top for Eddie O'Loken to chase. Matawalu's back, completely misread it. Both appealing, and it's a Glasgow throw.
Yeah, you always look at players trying to force play, and you can't kind of question his merit there. But in that occasion, that was never on the kick, and it granted a kind of possession, and Glasgow were lucky to get the ball back in the 22.
Connacht Glasgow secure possession in that line out. There's Mauling in field. I'll give the kick clearance a better angle. They might get more out of it. Harley holding the ball at the back. Well, Quinrue has been asked to get out. Now the box kick from Frisbee. Eddie O'Loken underneath it. Kelleher, he's got great pace, great feet. Kelleher's away. What a beautiful break. Has support outside. Couldn't quite find it, but good improvisation from Godwin. What a break by Kelleher, though. The ball squirting around back there. Glasgow have it, but they're under pressure. 10 metres from their try line. And the Connacht crowd roaring their team on here. There's nothing like a break like that from Kelleher, who's gone to fullback.
Yeah, I found that a strange decision by Frisbee to box kick that ball from a driving maul. I mean, it's energy sapping stuff when you drive a maul 20-25 meters, and then for you then to ask your forward pack to get into a line and create a defensive line from that. And we saw what happened there. Cian Kelleher looked up. There was a huge gap in the midfield, and he just exploited it. Unfortunately, his pass to Tiernan O'Halloran wasn't quite at the level of his line break.
Well, Connacht trying the rolling maul tactic now. Getting a little bit of result out of it here. They're stopped again. Oh, the little grubber kick through. Which way will it bounce? Oh, Matawalu, you can't take your eye off this guy. And Killian Gallagher didn't swallow it up, the Fijian. So Glasgow still deep inside their 22 here. They have possession though. Out half is in the sin bin, remember. Frisbee taking on a lot of the clearing kick duty.
Yeah, and Connacht there with a set play, knowing that that the Warriors were a player down in the backs. Jack Carty, set play, as I said, just dinked the ball forward, looking for Tom Farrell, to bounce of the ball for Tom Farrell. But it was great covering by Matawalu, and did fantastically well to negate the danger.
So good to watch, Nico Matawalu.
And inevitably now we're seeing with 18 minutes left on the clock, a couple of players going down injured now, and I'm not sure whether it's slight cramping or it is injuries, but it's Paul Boyle, the number 6 for Connacht, making his debut today. As we're looking in the crowd and see the likes of Bundy Aki, who I'm sure will be brought back into the Connacht fold after his restful summer on the back of a tour with Ireland. But what a great guy to come back in. But I think Connacht this year are going to be very blessed in the centres in terms of competition. I think Carl Godwin today has gone about his business very, very well and partnered very well with Tom Farrell. So, there's 3 guys there, and if you bring in the likes of Owen Griffin and Peter Robb, Connacht seems to be pretty blessed in that respect.
There's not many settings as pretty as this one. Well, certainly when you see it bathed in autumn sunshine like this, all the players are receiving attention are back in their feet. And Boyle straight back into the action, rising at the back of that line out to win possession or secure possession for Connacht. Well, the maul going backwards a little bit, and then the ball squirts out. Blade has to retreat, takes control. Another little arm over the shoulder that time from Fraser Brand. Ian Davies well placed and shouted straight away it wasn't a high tackle. Well, has the ball gone loose there? Fraser Brand bridges over it very well, very quick to get in. And the referee gives the penalty to Glasgow.
Yeah, the detail was lacking somewhat there from a Connacht point of view, but a great turnover from Glasgow, and with the clock ticking away, they need something to start clicking now for them. As Hogg kind of kicks the ball down to the 22 and finds a great kick.
Super kick from Hogg to within 5 metres. That's an absolute beauty. Well, he was disappointed with his last effort. But that's a cracker.
And on a warm day, there's nothing better from a forward's point of view than seeing the ball flying 40 metres, jogging forward onto it, and 5 metres from the goal line on an attacking line out.
Key moments now for both sides, really. Glasgow need to score. Just get the margin down to a single score. Connacht will know they're not really making great advantage of having the extra man here. It'll be a big blow to concede. Johnny Gray rises. There's a shout from the referee. Connacht have straight offside. Penalty coming. It's a free play for the visitors. Little grubber kick tried. Oh, what's happened here? There's a shout for the try.
Yeah, and to be fair to Ian Davies, he's been he's made it very clear in the offside line today, and he's given a couple of penalties for offside infringements from set piece on a few occasions. But very clear there, he was deeming number 18 Conor Carey and number 10 Jack Carty.
So the decision is to take a line-out throw again. They don't need to kick the ball back to touch for the penalty. Not sure they wouldn't be better to take their 3 points at this stage, but we'll find out in a moment. Glasgow set up the maul. Fraser Brown harrying them back. They're now getting some forward momentum here. Brown is over the line. Is he down? The ball is touched down. Brilliant try from Glasgow. Just what they needed. And they're down a man, remember.
And I think the reason that they were down a man really dictated what they were going to do there. But great patience actually by the forwards there. At one stage there I thought that the opportunity had escaped them. But that all goes down to the guys in the front of the maul there, just directing it left and right. And there was an opportunity right there where I thought it was going to split off. But you see there, the guy in the front there, I think it's one of the props who just come on, just straightened, left-hand shoulders, work with his partner on the right-hand side there, Johnny Gray, fighting for every inch, and they scored a fantastic try.
Yeah, great work. Adamash, the one who got over and touched it down. Well organised. They knew exactly where the ball was. They knew where to put the point of pressure. 8th try for Adamash, and what a time to get it. He reduces the margin to 4. Hogg with the conversion. Beauty from Hogg. The margin down to just 2. Well, that's a great bounce back by Glasgow.
It is, and as I said, you know, the maul there, when you're at the front of the maul there, all you can see is the grass in front of you down by your feet, and you're relying on your partner beside you in the communication to keep it straight, whether it be up on the left or up on the right, and they did fantastically well there to ballast Ash to score under the behind the whitewash. And now all of a sudden Glasgow are back in the game.
Craig Ronaldson into the action. Adia Loken got fingertips to it, but it's gone forward. Advantage Glasgow, but they have the ball. There's confirmation on your screen. Carty replaced by Ronaldson. Good clearance downfield. Cian Kelleher chasing back. The ball goes into the 22. Infield to Ronaldson. Well, the easier angle for the left-footed kicker. Hooked it a little bit though. He's found touch, but didn't get a lot of distance on it.
Yeah, Ronaldson will be disappointed with that. Usually he's a fairly accurate kicker from the ball in hand, but unfortunately on that occasion he hooked it, and it's given the opportunity to Glasgow again. And we talked about momentum changes earlier, and there's one could be potentially right there. All of a sudden, Glasgow 2 points down with an attacking line out, 15 metres into the Connacht half. Glasgow
have 4 tries, so a bonus point in the bag already. And again effective in the maul. Glasgow not looking like a team who are short a man here. Oh, wisely keeping the ball. They have a full complement in the pack. Frisbee takes it now. Alex Dunbar. Tackle low. Frisbee comes back towards the pack into the hands of Alex Allen. His opposite number, Peter McCabe, makes the tackle. Glasgow just beginning to exert a bit of dominance in the game. Coming at the right time. 12 minutes to go. Just 2 points between the sides.
And they're keeping it very tight. They just seem to be hitting pods of 3 up and forwards, and almost willing Connacht to make a penalty.
Oh, Hogg has a huge boot. He can kick from a long way out. Have they created the extra man here? Grigg. Defence swept across. Grigg was tackled well. Brown, the substitute hooker, good carry from him. Connacht desperately rolling out of the way. They can't afford to go away a penalty. Fagerson, nice hands, got the ball on. And have Connacht got in to steal it here? No, clear out just in time. Glasgow into the 22. Marawalu calling instructions. Frisbee gets the pass away. Ball carrier not held in the tackle. Sneaks about 5 more metres. Hogg in the line. Marawalu now looking to accelerate into the tackle. Couldn't find a way through. Little pop pass to Harley. Has it created a bit of space? Harley's been working hard all through the game. They're appealing to the touch judge for something. The crowd aren't happy. This is good stuff from Glasgow, asking questions of the Connacht defence. Alex Allen with the carry once again. Frisbee going to move the ball a bit, but Glasgow wisely keeping it tight. Hogg is waiting at standoff here, but Brown steps up to take control. Oh, it's patient, clever play.
Both sets of packs are almost walking at this stage. They're so tired of the phase 19 in this heat.
Matawalu, what can he do? That's always going to be a little bit of magic, you think. Energy sapping stuff. It'll be such a big moment in this game. Whether a score comes from this passage or play. Frisbee doing his best to make sure the referee sees the Connacht player who's in the offside position. Referee just asked him to stay still. Glasgow still with the ball though. Phase 24. Oh, the ball carrier a little bit isolated here. Good strength to get the right side of the ball. Move to Hogg. Seymour, mazy run back infield. Well, Adam Hastings has been waiting to come on for a long time. Still, Glasgow asked the questions. Have they created the extra man here? Hogg tries to throw the pass out of the back of the hand. It's away to touch, and it brings a huge cheer of relief from the Connacht supporters. Brilliant play by both sides. As you say, maybe at walking pace, but some concentration, Michael.
Wow, and I'm tired just even watching that phase of sets of play. I think 29, 28, 29 sets of phases. To be fair to Glasgow, they had a lot of patience. It was slow. Then now and again they injected a bit of pace with the likes of Matawalu. But the Connacht defence held strong, and they were pretty efficient now, not being able to get away any penalties. And in the end, Hogg was probably guilty of just forcing it too much, knowing that nothing was going to come for it with the pass out the back door. And unfortunately for the Warriors, it went straight into touch.
Conor Carey receiving some attentions. Adam Hastings back into the action after his sin bin. Probably stretched well past his 10 minutes.
Yeah, you know, even though the Warriors were attacking a couple of times with the forwards carrying it up, the minute that the backs were kind of brought into play, you could see the injection of pace, how much more difficult it is from a Connacht point of view to defend. So I kind of would have liked, from the Warriors' point of view, for the backs to have got maybe a little bit more involved in that phase there. 28 phases, and I'd hazard a guess that 3/4 of them were through the forwards. And there's only so many times you can ask a forward to go to the well and carry a ball. So the likes of Matawalu, you know, coming off Frisbee inside passes when the fringe defence at Connacht might be a little bit tired, might be something that they could look at.
Darcy Ray has come in for Fagerson. Fagerson had a huge game. Connacht secure possession from that line out. Blade back to Ronaldson. Not sure that was intention. He's got right under that one. Connacht chase has been knocked on. Still a blue advantage. Well, kind of lateral knock on, but the referee was right in line. Here comes Hogg. Look at those dancing feet. Now the little slip past. Brilliant work. Seymour coming back in field. Connacht seem to have just eased up a little bit in this game. Well, they've picked the wrong time to do it. And there's a little bit more of a zip in the Glasgow players. He sense Connacht are maybe tiring. Frisbee tries to change direction.
That's great refereeing by Ian Davis there, realising that the Glasgow were trying to manufacture a penalty decision there.
The ball is there for Glasgow. Frisbee has a look, comes to the left-hand side once again. Slower ball for Glasgow. Frisbee looks right, then comes to the left-hand side to Alex Allen. Oh, how tiring is this? Oh, big tackle comes in. High tackle on Hastings.
Yeah, I think that's a high tackle by McCabe. A tired tackle.
Free drop goal attempt from Hogg. And it's good. What about that from Stuart Hogg?
Well, in the last 2 minutes, you've just seen the world-class talent of that Stuart Hogg. All started off in his own kind of half with 3 absolutely sumptuous side steps off his left foot against a tired Connacht defence. And in there, even though albeit no pressure, knowing that the penalty was coming, he absolutely nailed a drop goal there from 30 metres out. And it's put Glasgow in the lead, and you have to say on the balance of play in the last 15 minutes, it's the least they deserve.
What have Connacht got left in the tank here? They go short with the restart. They get up and they've won it. It's gone forward. Off at Glasgow hand advantage to Connacht. Just a single point between them. Just over 6 minutes to go in the game. Heffernan, great burst from him. Low tackle comes in, scything tackle on Quinn Roux. Goodwin on to Farrell. McCabe looking to burst a little hole in the defence. Quinn Roux, lovely pop-up from Quinn Roux. Heffernan in support. Falls spectacularly, but presents the ball well. Blade gets it away. Ronaldson. Oh, he was just caught in possession. Have Glasgow managed to turn it over here? Whistle blows. It's gone forward off a blue hand. Relief for Connacht to continue this attack with a scrummage.
Yeah, a great response from Connacht and the likes of Dave Heffernan and Quinn Roux, giving a lovely offload to Dave Heffernan, who's been very impressive in the loose today. But a tight call there. Ian Davis just staying there. It was a fair competition. And then he just went off his feet after knocking the ball on. But before that, he was eligible to go for the ball. So just a forward, a knock on, and resulting in a scrum for Connacht.
Waylon Blade heads to the side. James Mitchell on in his place. Dave Heffernan as well. A well-deserved rest. An incredible 75 minutes from him at hooker.
Absolutely, and for Dave Heffernan, you know, capped for Ireland. Last year probably didn't go as well as he had hoped. A couple of injuries, but also with Shane Delahunt kind of forcing his way into the starting lineup a lot. And at the end of last season was probably first choice. And then you throw into the mix Tom McCartney as well. You've got 3 hookers there who on any day can serve a great purpose for Connacht. But Shane Delahunt now, I'm sure he would have been itching to get on the pitch and hoping to have started the game. So we'll see what kind of impact he brings to Connacht.
Play will restart. Scrummage to Connacht. 5-6 metres outside the 22. A little bit more than 15 metres in from the far touchline. First bit of the action for James Mitchell.
And if you're Connacht now, you're probably thinking with 5 minutes on the clock, probably similar to how Glasgow have approached the game in the last 10 minutes. I can't see them being too adventurous. A couple of hit-ups from forwards and try and manipulate a penalty from somewhere.
Well, Glasgow have been generous enough in that so far in the game, but when it's tight like this, the concentration may be raised considerably. Glasgow have won, of course, on the opening day of the season here in the last 2 years. Looking to make that a hat-trick. Oh, front row goes down, penalty Glasgow.
Yeah, and Conor Kerry was always going to be in trouble there. Just looked at his pre-bind, he was overextending from the impact, and unfortunately if you overextend, your knees are too far back and there's just not enough ballast to keep you upright. And unfortunately for Connacht, in a great position, they've given a penalty away.
Glasgow in no hurry to take this, obviously. There's the penalties. Connacht conceding 11, Glasgow 15. Neither coaching ticket will be happy with those numbers.
No, and in modern rugby now, you're always trying to keep your penalty count in single figures. And as I said, both defensive coaches will be disappointed with those numbers today. But now, from a Glasgow point of view, as you see them walking to the line out, I can't see this going very far from the forwards' hands here. The maul so far has gone particularly well for them, so I can see this being tucked up the jumper and trying to manipulate another soft penalty.
Ian Davies stops the clock until the ball is thrown in, losing a little bit of patience with Glasgow, but not enough to award a free kick to Connacht. And here's the maul. Glasgow are edging towards that touchline, but well in control. Frisbee takes it from Brown. Dunbar flat on the gain line. There's a little pick and go, the ball there again. Adam Ash picks and drives forward. Harley lending some weight. The ball very well protected. Fraser Brown acting as the scrum half. Oh, can Glasgow manage to wind the clock down from here? Can they force a penalty and get the lead out beyond 3 points? Well, they go back to Stuart Hogg. He might fancy a drop goal attempt from a long way.
It's asking a lot for the forwards just to keep hold of retain the possession for 3 minutes, so I think you could be right there.
Well, Hogg is getting into that position in the pocket. And he's standing in his own half. If he's going to have a go from there, it's going to be some smack. Well, they go to Hastings, who tries the crossfield kick. Well, possession back to Connacht. What can Kelleher do? We saw a little bit of magic from him. Just couldn't find the pass after a brilliant break. That might have sealed the victory for Connacht.
Yeah, that was poor communication by Hastings. His winger had absolutely no idea that he was kicking the ball there.
Oh, McCabe tackled just inside his own half. Mitchell goes down the narrow side. Healy was at first receiver. Butler, the captain, carries on about 5 metres, then tackled. Mitchell rips the ball out. Boyle moving it on. Rob Harley up to make an important tackle. Hasn't rolled away. Referee saying they're onside. It's okay. Connacht managed to hold on to possession. A little bit of pace put into it now. Delahunt away to Adio Lucan. What a tackle. Adio Lucan managed to get it free, but it off the boot bobbles into touch.
Yeah, that was a great cover tackle there by Alex Dunbar. You thought for a split second there with the pace of Adio Lucan he was away. But a great read by Dunbar, knowing that the ball was going out wide, and just made that final effort to get out and make the tackle. But for Connacht now, they'll be trying to put as much pressure on this line out, on Glasgow line out as possible, knowing that it's most probably going to be thrown to the middle or the front.
Oh, looks like Chris Fasaras heading to the side. Substitute flanker. Ryan Wilson coming back on. Two very tired legs. There's Fasaro, just a blood substitution.
And they have two scrum halves at the moment, Glasgow do. And Ryan Wilson's been ushered out, and then Gibbons has been put into scrum half, so it's going to be a maul.
Well, they haven't found their man. Delahunt at the back of the line. Butler took the pass on the first bounce. Mitchell having a look at his options. Adio Lucan coming back wide to this right-hand side. And the clock ticking on. We're into the final minute of normal time here. Well, who's got the most energy? Who's got the most oxygen getting to the brains? One mistake here is going to cost the match for one side or the other. Delan tackled hard as he receives the ball, driven backwards. Connacht almost push back to the 10-metre line in the Glasgow half. Ronaldson is in the pocket, but it's a long, long way out for a drop goal attempt. Mitchell has a look at him. Back they go to Ronaldson for the drop goal attempt. He's miles away, never really got underneath it. Into the hands of Hogg. Well, he's carried the ball back into his in-goal area. Touches down.
And we're at 80 minutes on the clock, but it has to make the play. And Glasgow will be sighing a big sigh of relief there. That all came about from a miscommunication in the line-out. But if the game finishes this score, they won't matter one iota.
Well, the clock has ticked past 80 minutes. Final play.
And he can't kick it straight into touch, which is a blessing for Connacht.
Well, he finds a bit of grass deep. Last throw of the dice for the Connacht men. Kelleher stopped just short of the 10-metre line. Quinn Rood dips the shoulder. Have to be full concentration from Connacht now. Well, Glasgow sitting nicely. Is there a little bit of space? Oh, lovely feet. Farrell, Goodwin coming in support. Penalty to Connacht. Well, it's a long, long way out.
It was a lovely swivel of hips by Tom Farrell to make the break, but I think this could be too far for Craig Ronaldson to kick, and they have to think with their head here.
Well, it's the easier side for Craig Ronaldson. He doesn't hesitate, points at the posts. It's all on the shoulders of the substitute outside half.
Well, to be fair to Ronaldson there was no second thinking. He was confident and immediately he pointed to the post. Didn't even need to look at Jared Butler there for his captain's guidance, and it all comes down to this. But just on that last play with Stuart Hogg, I think he was looking to run the clock down. But maybe he might be in best to have taken the ball up, bring it into midfield, resource the ruck and then kick it into touch, and the game would have been dead. But the way he did it, he put the ball down, which resulted in a 22, and the kick had to stay in touch. That gave Connacht the opportunity.
So Ronaldson, 370 points, 307 points in his Connacht career. After 81 minutes of fantastic rugby and beautiful sunshine, it comes down to this. Halfway between the 10-metre line and the halfway line. Crowd silent. It's got the line. It doesn't. Oh, it just had enough off the outside of the post. It's kicked over the end line. Ronaldson can't believe it. It looked good most of the way. The players shake hands. It's been a terrific game of rugby, Michael.
It really has. And Ronaldson there, he had the distance, but unfortunately for Connacht, it was just to the left of the post and hit the post and game over. But as round one games go, very, very entertaining as we see the kick again.
Yeah, no difficulty with the distance, just the outside of the post. There's the reaction of the men on the bench. They can't believe it.
And Glasgow will be absolutely delighted with the victory. And if you're looking at it, a very unlike Glasgow win, really. Instead of the free-flowing rugby that they're being accustomed to in recent years, it was very much a game won by the pack up front, with 2 tries in the first half scored by them, and then with glimpses and sparkles of magic from the likes of Stuart Hogg.
Full-time score, Connacht 26, Glasgow 27. 4 tries for Glasgow, so they get the 4-try bonus point as well. It's 5 points on the league table for them, 1 for Connacht, 1 losing bonus point. They deserve more than that, Michael.
Yeah, it was a strange game from Connacht's point of view. Some fantastic stuff, but a lot of unforced errors, and just a final pass on a couple of occasions didn't go to hand. A couple of crucial penalties, and in the second half there, they kind of switched off the pedal, and unfortunately for them, gave away a few penalties. Glasgow got a sniff, held the ball on particularly well, and scored a couple of tries and deserved winners. But for Connacht now, they have a couple of home games coming up, like the Zebre and Scarlets, and we'll be hoping to try and make the most of it.
Well, the Connacht players dejected. They gave everything there today. Difficult in the heat, but the conditions perfect for rugby otherwise. 6 tries. Glasgow, they stuck at it right to the end. They looked like they might have been beaten. There's Fasaro, showing how much of the wars he's been in, covered in blood. But 2 sides gave everything out there. A very, very entertaining game, but Connacht the ones disappointed. Glasgow will be absolutely delighted to come away with 5 points here. There were 9 points behind, 6 down at half-time. Connacht only scored 3 points in that second half, a single penalty from Carty.
And that's the difference. And you see the Glasgow pack going through there, and the likes of the likes of George Turner, who had an absolute stormer, and Oliver Kebble, who carried well and did fantastic in the tight, to take a bow, lads, because those guys really gave them the front foot.
Stuart,
Stuart
great
Hogg.
result for you. A bit tense at the end. How did you find it?
Cracking game. Thoroughly enjoyed that. You know, our boys worked incredibly hard. You know, we didn't make it easy for ourselves at times, and a bit credit to the boys. We dug deep and got that result.
Got on the end of a lovely drop goal as well. Can you talk us through that yourself?
Yeah, I've practiced about a million times, and Wilson will be able to tell you I've never ever got them in training. So, you know, I just saw it as a wee opportunity. It was a kind of shot to nothing really, but you know, as I say, the boys got me into that position to get that over, and you know, I'm chuffed to bits that we're going away with a win.
Look, it was a key score, and you were nominated as man of the match, and here to present is Ray Sheehan of Guinness. Ryan, obviously the result that you've wanted, you started really well last season and went on a run. How important is this win away on the road?
Yeah, it's huge. You know, we've had a tough pre-season, and I don't know. Look, there's been some stuff said in the press about, you know, the squad that we've got this year, but it just shows, you know, we've got a team that will dig deep. It wasn't pretty. It certainly wasn't easy, but we got the result there, and that's all we came for.
You talk about character in the team, and with some new young faces coming in, that's really important to you. But the disappointment maybe of last year, is that a driving force for you as well this year?
Yeah, certainly. You know, there's a lot of gutted boys, and listen, we're probably stronger for that. But again, I'm just chuffed with the effort the boys put in today. We're not used to this sunshine, so it was hot out there, but we did well to win that one.
Going forward, what are the obstacles you see, and who are the strong teams that you're going to face going into this competition?
Oh, listen, you know, everyone's strong. You know, Connacht, they showed you today that they're a strong team as well. You've got your Leinsters, your Scarlets right up there playing well, and we've got a tough game at home next week against Munster. So, you know, it's there's no easy games anymore in this league. So it's going to be a tough one, but looking forward to the battle ahead.
Going forward, what is the goal for the team within this competition? Where do you see yourselves?
Win it. We're here to win it.
Okay, we wish you all the best. Thanks for talking to us. Cheers.
Cheers, right. Cheers, fellas.